I'm more intelligent and more educated than you arrogant twat that is out there talking rubbish. You want to come and colonize Nigeria?
Wait. Yes, were these massacres happening?
If you're allowed, can you?
Were these massacres happening under us?
As dumb and stupid as you are,
or did they happen when we left you to run your own country?
That's very stupid thing.
Were they happening?
Guys, watch this. This happened in UK. An Igbo man stood up in front of a British panel and he said something that went viral. He told them, "You people left a mess in Nigeria and now you want to come back and civilize us again." Bro, the room went quiet. And today we are going to watch this clip together. Then I will break down everything he said. The history, the politics, and why this matters in 2026. Let's go.
What Britain did in Nigeria, let me educate you, you're ignorant of this, was to see that it was easy to control the people in the north by climbing on the back, by piggybacking on the oligarchy, the oligarchical system, the feudal system in Nigeria. The Igbos were like, at some point, no, our life was terrible by your oppressive regime and the rulership. We need to be free. And that was the crime. When the Igbos and the Yorubas joined forces to say that we needed independence, what did Britain do when they finally agreed to let go? They made those northerners who rejected English education, English religion, English way of life, the overlord over these two who were civilized and educated, because it was easy to control the whole of Nigeria using the Islamic feudal system. And that is why we have the genocide, the massacre of Christians ongoing now in Nigeria. And what has Britain said about it?
Would you like us to come and colonize you again and sort it out?
To come and colonize us again, sort it out.
Yeah, should we go over and colonize you and stop the horrific slaughter of Christians?
No, but that's what you have created.
Yeah, so should we sort it out?
When you talk about the benefit of the British Empire, it did as good as much as it did evil as well.
These
and
tribes.
It's quite rich for you to sit there thinking you can patronize someone as me that is more intelligent than you are.
Were these massacres happening when we were running your country?
I'm more intelligent and more educated than you arrogant twat that is out there talking rubbish. You want to come and colonize Nigeria?
Wait. Were these massacres happening?
If you're allowed, can you?
Were these massacres happening under
dumb
us?
and stupid as you
or
are,
did they happen when we left you to run your own country?
That's very stupid thing.
Were they happening?
I thought I was going to have a civilized conversation.
When we were running your country,
maybe I listened to you.
Were these massacres
You want to come back and colonize Nigeria?
Were these
what a damn stupid question.
Were these
very unintelligible question.
Under us?
Tell me your opinion on the British Empire and then I respond, okay? I won't make an assumption. Go ahead. And I'll see if I was right.
The British Empire did good and it did evil. Equal measure. 5 and 6, 7 and 6 is. So we cannot have this very conversation and not balance the conversation. When Britain, within the time that you cited, went to places like India, taking the resources, of course they had to build some infrastructures that only facilitated the extraction of these very mineral resources from the hinterlands. I can tell you about Nigeria, for an instance. The infrastructure that Britain built was for colonial administrative convenience to be able to extract wealth from our hinterlands. It wasn't necessarily for the people. So when you talk about civilizing the people, no, it was the British convenience. And I don't know how much you know about the Nigeria and the killing that is going on now.
It's disgusting.
Perpetuated by the same mistakes of Britain. Of course, when people drive on the road, it's a good thing. Of course, you got to give them kudos. But the fact that Britain, for an instance, let me educate you on Nigeria. When Britain came to Nigeria, we have over 520-something tribes. We have 3 major tribes: the Igbos, the Yorubas, the Hausas. The Igbos were very Republican, very independent-minded people, not easily to be controlled, but the first to embrace British way of life and culture, religion, and the language. The Yorubas, half and half. The Hausas, absolutely none. They wouldn't have anything to do with it because Usman Fodio Islam was there before. They had the caliphate.
The first point he made, he said Britain found it easy to control Nigeria by climbing on the back of the northern system. That is called indirect rule. Here is what that means in simple terms. When Britain came to Nigeria, they met over 500 tribes. They couldn't fight everybody. So they asked, how can we control all these people with small number of British officers? Their answer, use the people who were already in power in the north. That was the emirs and the caliphate system. So it was already organized. So kings caught taxes. So Britain said, okay, we will work with you. You collect tax for us. You keep order for us, and we will leave you alone. In the south, especially among Igbos and Yorubas, it was different. Igbo society was not one king, you know. It was villages making decisions together. And that's why here Igbo is something like that. Yoruba had Obas, but it was still different. So Britain had to create something called warrant chiefs in the east. That caused a lot of problems because those were not the real traditional rulers. The result, by the time Nigeria got independence in 1960, the North was used to one system of government. The South had a different system, and because of population, the North had more seats in the parliament, just like in the military and several other forces. That's the foundation of a lot of political arguments and problems we still have today. Second point he made, he said the Igbos and Yorubas embraced English education and religion early. The North did not. And that's true. Why? Because missionaries came to the South first through trades and ports. So schools, hospitals, churches came early. But in the North, Islam and the Islamic school system was already there for hundreds of years. So Western education was rejected at first. So fast forward to 1960, when Britain was leaving, who had more doctors, lawyers, teachers, civil servants? The South. But who had more people? The North. So you had a situation where one side had the education, but the other side had the numbers and political power. And this man is saying that was not accident. He said that was part of how Britain set things up. It was easier for them to control the country that way. And whether you agree or not, that is what happened. Now, this is the part that made people angry. He said, there's a massacre of Christians happening in Nigeria now. And you want to ask us if you should come back and colonize us to stop it. Let's be honest. Britain left Nigeria in 1960. That is 66 years ago. So whatever is happening in Nigeria today, insecurity, bad roads, corruption, Nigerian leaders are responsible for that. Full stop. But here is also what he's saying. And I think it's important. He's saying, you cannot separate today from yesterday. You drew the borders. You joined 500 tribes together, even if you know that they cannot work. You build infrastructure to take resources out, not to connect Nigerians. And you created a political system that favored one region. So when things go wrong, you don't get to act like you have nothing to do with it. And then to turn around and say, should we come back and civilize you? That's what he's calling out. That's why the man is like angry. It's like someone breaks your house, leaves, and 60 years later comes back and say, your house is dirty. Let me come and clean it up. Clean it for you. Look, I'm not saying everything about Britain was bad. You know, they built some schools and hospitals, you know, the legal system. We can acknowledge that. But we also have to tell the truth. The main reason Britain was in Nigeria was for British interests, not for Nigerian interests. They were here for exploitation. And now here is the most important part. We cannot use 1960 as an excuse for 2026. 66 years is a long time. We have had time to fix things, to arrange things by ourselves, fix it the way it should be. So yes, we can talk about what Britain did. We should know our history, but we must also ask, what are we doing? Blaming Britain will not stop the killings. Blaming Britain will not build hospitals. Blaming Britain will not create jobs. Let us start something. We must change things. So what do you think? Did this man speak facts, or was he just angry? Was Britain 100% reasonable, or do we also need to take responsibility now? Drop your comments below and let's discuss it respectfully. No insults. And if you learned something new today, share this video. I will see you in the next one.